All right, let's talk about a word that gets a really bad rap: lazy. We're going to flip the script on that today. Because what if some of those habits we're told are so unproductive are actually signs of a mind that's working in overdrive? Let's get right into it. I mean, seriously, think about it. Has anyone ever told you to tidy up that mess or to get your head out of the clouds? We're kind of taught from a young age that if you're not visibly busy, if you're not constantly moving, then you're not really working hard or being smart. But here's the crazy idea we're digging into. What if that messy desk isn't a sign of a messy mind? What if talking to yourself isn't weird? And staring out the window isn't wasting time? What if it's all just your brain operating on a totally different, way more creative level? This quote just nails it, right? There's this massive gap between what people see on the surface and the incredible stuff that's happening inside our heads. What looks like doing nothing can actually be your brain firing on all cylinders. Okay, first up, let's tackle a habit I'm guessing a lot of us can relate to: the messy desk. You know the old saying, a cluttered desk means a cluttered mind? Well, what if that's totally wrong? Get this. Some really interesting research suggests the opposite is true. A little bit of disorder can actually knock your brain out of its usual ruts and spark brand new ideas. So how does that even work? Well, basically, when you're not obsessing over where every single paperclip goes, your mind has the freedom to play, to make these new, unexpected connections. You're letting the big picture ideas win out over the small, trivial task of tidying up. And this isn't just some nice theory, you know? There's actual data. A study out of the University of Minnesota found that people in a messy room came up with ideas that were rated as significantly more creative than those who were in a tidy room. Turns out a little bit of chaos can be a secret weapon. All right, moving on from the chaos on our desks to the organized chaos inside our own heads. Yeah, we're talking about the habit of talking to yourself. Now, this is way more than just random thoughts floating around. A strong inner monologue is more like having a narrator for your own life. It's when you're actively coaching yourself through a problem or playing out a conversation in your head before it happens. So, to everybody else, you might just look like you're zoned out, staring at a wall. But on the inside, your brain is running a full-blown flight simulator. You're testing scenarios, organizing information, and building a strategy before you ever even move a muscle. And think about how incredibly powerful this is. First, talking it through helps you figure out what the real problem is. Then, you get to test drive solutions with zero risk. It even helps you keep your cool and focus. And it locks in what you're learning. It's basically like having a personal strategist in your head 24/7. And finally, let's get to the big one, the habit that is the absolute poster child for laziness. You guessed it, daydreaming. So the myth is that when your mind wanders, your brain has just checked out. But that could not be further from the truth. Neuroscientists have found that a whole system in your brain called the default mode network lights up, and this thing is a genius at mashing up old memories with new information to create something totally original. Think about it. When do your best ideas hit you? I bet it's in the shower or on a walk, right? That's this process right here. You step away, you let the ideas cook on the back burner in your subconscious, and then bam, the answer just appears. That's not laziness. That is literally how creative breakthroughs happen. And the research totally backs this up. Look at this. When you force people to just grind away at a problem, they do okay. But if you give them a break, let their minds wander a bit, and come back, they absolutely knock it out of the park. That unfocused time is where the magic really is. So what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean? It means we need to stop judging intelligence based on what it looks like. We have to start understanding how our brains actually, truly work. At the end of the day, there is no one-size-fits-all model for being brilliant. A brain that needs a little chaos, or that needs to talk itself through things, or that needs time to just drift, that brain isn't broken, it's just wired its own unique way. So how do you actually apply this? It's pretty simple. First, get curious about your own habits. Ask why you do them. Is that daydreaming actually your brain solving a problem? Second, and this is a big one, judge yourself on your results, on what you create, not on how busy you look. And finally, always question the old rules about the right way to work. So here's a final thought. The next time you find yourself surrounded by a bit of clutter or you catch your mind wandering off, maybe don't rush to fix it. Just pause for a second and ask yourself, What amazing marathon of ideas is my brain running right now? What incredible breakthrough is just around the corner?